Hi everyone, Cassie and Eric here, and thanks for joining us on She Talks, He Listens, the podcast where we dive into the ups and downs of relationships through all of life's twists and turns.
We're here to share our journey with you and explore the many lessons we've learned along the way. Whether you're just starting out, hoping to strengthen your relationship, or working to reconnect, we've got you covered. Join us as we challenge and inspire you to grow together and become the very best versions of yourself, side by side.
All right, and we are back with She Talks, He Listens. It has been a while. Life
Again.
happens. We have not forgotten
No.
about the podcast, but between travel, getting used to two children, and just, overall life, it's been a busy month. There's been a lot of transitions in 2025, so but we're here today.
We got
have
waking up to do. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about.
We have a pretty good show today. We're gonna play a game.
Yes, with no hats.
Explain that.
No
No
hats.
hats today.
Before we get started, though, what's our victory lap of the week?
Victory lap.
You look very
I would
handsome
say-
today, by
Thank
the
you.
way.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, you look good.
Don't get me going. Victory lap would be we finally got sod.
We did. We got a yard.
And not only did they sod our front yard, they also sodded our backyard, which we did not think was going to happen. We
Not
thought it was going
planned.
to be seeded. So
No, love them down. That's all I have to say. Love them down.
yeah, we are, well, I am rotating the sprinklers often.
Yeah.
Try and keep the sod alive, but I'd say that's the victory lap. We finally
Got
got
side.
that. We put some plants in and
It looks like a
it's
yard.
coming together.
Yeah. My victory lap is I started a new job. So joined a new team. I am officially a strategic performance coach at Impact 88. For those of you who are familiar with the team that I'm now on, I'm working with just some of the greatest people I've ever met in the industry that I love, new home sales, all things sales leadership, sales training. And so I'm so excited. It's just a really cool new adventure. And I don't really think we could do any more change in this period. I'm just like, there's nothing left. My counselor was like, the only thing you haven't done yet is get divorced. And I'm like, yeah, you don't have to worry about that. We're not going to do that one. But new house, new job, new state, new baby. I think we've checked a lot of the new boxes.
We have.
So, but
that's what we talked about. We said we were gonna just do it all at once, rip the Band-Aid off, and hopefully now we're on the downhill.
Yeah. So it's been a week. We wanted to share, I wanted to share one of the, your kids say. We had to put my dog down this week, Daisy May, and she had been with us for 14 years, through all of my big life moments and changes. And then to have her, with the birth of our second baby and with this move. And so it's been a really, really, really hard week. But my oldest daughter just really has said some pretty funny things. But the one that stood out is we've been talking to her a lot about Daisy going to doggy heaven and trying to prepare her so that it wasn't some big shock. And the morning we had to take Daisy, I reminded our daughter, I was like, hey, Daisy's going to doggy heaven today and she's going to see Sunny, which was your parents' dog. And, she looked at me and just said, well, who's going to take her there? And I was like, that is such a good question for a 3-year-old to ask. And then about 30 seconds later, she was like, and are you still taking me to school? And I'm like, okay, yes, I'm taking you to school, and just trying to tell her that the vet was going to help her. But like in the midst of a really sad moment, it's amazing how kids, like their innocence and the way their mind works, just kind of like yanks you out of it. It made me smile so big because, she was just worried about how Daisy was going to get there, but then also how was she going to get to school? Like this is the dilemma. And so that was a really, really cute moment in our week. And she has just been the greatest big sister and says the funniest things. And I mean, we could just do a whole show on things that she says, but I had to share that because that was just too good not to.
Yeah, she's definitely the cutest. I know we've talked a lot on the show about how she's been a terrorist over like the last 2 months, but she has settled in and she cannot be happier, and she's with her cousins, at least the ones here, and she's thriving in her new environment. So she's been a very happy girl over the last month to
Really,
two
really
months.
sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before we jump into our game, I want to tell the story about how I was trapped in a parking garage today. Can I share that? Yeah.
If you'd like.
Okay, so we're in this new town, right? This is like where we grew up around the area, but I haven't lived here in forever. And I today could not find street parking. And just quick disclaimer, I am not the best driver. I won't pretend like I am. I'll own it.
You
But
do when I tell you, when I try to backseat drive you.
I can own my own bad driving, but I cannot parallel park, and street parking really stresses me out because I don't want to hit anybody's car. And so I did like 87 laps this morning trying to find a place to park because I was meeting my friend for a breakfast date, and just finally gave up and went down into this public parking garage that looked like the parking garage of death. It just like you drive underground, had no cell service.
It's an underground parking
It's
garage.
an underground parking garage. It was creepy.
They're
It was
all over the place.
it was
Nothing new.
creepy. And so I get down there and don't have any cell service, and it says cash only. And then it said like, I don't know, it said something about $2. And I'm like, okay, perfect. Well, I'm not even going to be here an hour. I had $2.50 to my name in cash. I was like, this is going to be fine. So I come back, I call you on my walk to let you know that I was going into this parking garage just in case. And I get to the checkout, and it's this older man who literally looks like a mountain Santa Claus and had like his 70s button down and jeans and like really nice. And I give him my ticket, and he says $4.50. And I'm like, no, God. And I said, do you take card? And he was like, no, cash only. And I'm like,
As
well,
it says, as you're driving in, cash only.
I was there for like 47 minutes. I don't understand how they're price gouging people with $4.50. So I'm like, okay, here's $2.50. Let me see what I can find. And for 15 minutes, I sat there talking to this man, Steven, who watched me dig through our entire car to find like 14 pennies, 4 dimes, a few quarters, nickels. I mean, we were at like $3.90, and he's just watching me flounder like a fish out of water. And I'm like, really, Steven? You're not going to just let me leave and go? Like at this point, we're so close. And no, he did not. I found 2 more quarters along with lipstick and a bottle of nail polish and Hallie's fire department pin and an Ariel toy. And I'm just like Mary Poppins over here pulling everything out but money. And he's just watching me and just with a smile on his face, as nice as can be, which was kind of making me more frustrated because I'm like, let me go. If we were in Alabama, they would have just let me go. And so it leads to a conversation that I really want to do one day with work about customer experience versus price purity. Like, it was a horrible customer experience because he wouldn't just let me go, but also he was really holding his ground on his pricing. So
Gotta get that extra 60 cents.
15 minutes later, I got $4.50, and I learned Steven's entire life story, like where he worked, how long he'd been there, his history in the town, how he wants to write a book, what he wants to call the book, like all of it was a thing. And
That's
so
not surprising.
no. Well, what do you mean that's not surprising, Steven?
You finding out his whole life story.
Well, if I'm gonna sit there and flounder like a fish, I'm gonna talk to him while I'm doing it. It was taking the edge off. But anyways, it was a morning to say the least. And I'm just glad I'm here because
Just pulling up, find my friends, and
could you see where I was
well, once
without
you got
the
out of
signal?
parking
Oh yeah.
garage.
See, that's the
And
thing. I
so
couldn't call
you also
you.
ran into construction.
I did. I was
A
lost.
lot of one-way streets.
Couldn't get out.
downtown.
Could not get home. Is
So I pull up, find my friends, I'm like, go straight, take a right on the street, and finally got you out of it. But
yeah. Well, that's the thing about not having cell service. It's so debilitating. I'm like, I don't have a way to call you and ask for money. And then I was like, what do they do in parking garages if you can't pay? Because like I think about restaurants when they're like, well, you'll wash the dishes. What do you do in a parking garage?
wash your car. Clean the pee out of the stalls or
And wash the car. It smelled disgusting. The whole thing was a mess, but I'm out. I made it. All that to say, I'm so glad to be here with you guys because I really didn't know if he was
didn't
gonna
think
let
you were
me
gonna
out.
make it.
I didn't think he was
Happy
gonna
you're
make
here.
it.
You survived.
There's
survived
always
the
an
dungeon.
adventure when I'm involved, always. All right. I'm so excited about what we're doing today.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Can you talk about it?
The game is gonna be called You Know You're Married When,
Yeah.
and you explain the point system because you had to introduce that. I just
Oh yeah. You came up with this concept of
I
you
came
know
up-
you're married when.
you always have the little extras that you add in there
Yeah, like the
to
hat.
make it fun
There's no hat today.
because you're a fun person.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have great ideas. So I just take them and
I
run.
have the ideas, you just formulate it into the bigger picture.
Like the podcast.
Yeah.
Like the podcast.
There you go.
So, You're Married When is the game that Eric created. And honestly, it's really just for anybody in a relationship. And the idea is you're going to go through these prompts and there's a rating system, 1 to 5. And we found this to be so fun that we actually created like all of this on a worksheet that we'll share through my site, CassieWilliamson.com, where you can download it for free and have it to play with your significant other. But there's tons of prompts and you'll go through and rate. 1 is nope, not us. 3 would be like, oh yeah, that hits. And then 5 is like, we just lived that last week. That just happened. And so we're going to do a few together that we created. And then the worksheet will have a lot more. But whoever wins, you'll see a few ideas of ways that you can have a winner, because why would you play a game and not have a winner or a loser? Like there's got to be a winner. There's got to be a winner. So we'll just do quick ratings for us, but know that we'll go back and play the whole game. We're not going to do it all on this episode. But you really came up with a lot of these, which I find to be comical. So take it away.
It's like as I was coming into your office, I had like 2 more as you were just talking to me for 5 minutes. I'm like, yep, that's going.
The idea though is to be able to laugh at yourselves and connect with one another, and we hope that this game allows you to do that, because it has for us and it's been pretty fun.
All right, why are we just starting at number 1?
Sure.
Okay. It's discussing dinner options for so long that you just pretty much fall back on what's easiest or what you know.
Like
So,
eating
like,
at home.
Yeah, like eating at home. So like we'll be like, what do you want for dinner starting at 4:15, 4:30? And we'll throw out all these options, and then we're like, okay, we just have noodles and a jar of sauce in the pantry. That's what we're
Because it's easy and we're both brain dead and we have 2 kids. Well, the thing is, remember like years ago when you and I could not pick a place when we were living in St. Louis, we had all those options. We couldn't pick one. And I was like, there should be an app where you type in your options and spin and it picks for you. Because one of the most attractive things to me is when you just make decisions for us and you don't. Like you won't.
Well, the other side of that though is you only have like your 3 or 4
Oh,
major
we're gonna
food
bring that up.
groups.
You had to bring that up on this
Pasta,
episode.
pizza, bread.
I'm like Buddy the
Soup.
Elf. Our 4 major food groups: candy canes, candy corns, and syrup.
So I'm like, okay, well, to me, I've had like some sort of Italian meal for 4 days
That's
straight.
not true. I'm trying to be better. I've been introducing
I
some
know,
things.
yeah.
Avocado spread on my
But back-
breakfast this morning.
But back in St. Louis, that was
Oh yeah, it was like
yeah,
we
it
went
was-
to Felix's and that Irish
it was
pub that I
either
can't
pizza
remember
or
the name of.
pasta. I'm like, which one do you want today?
Well, we
So
hit the hill. Why would we not go eat pasta?
I
all the time?
understand that.
I miss that. I will say though, when you make decisions all day or you're in like a high level thinking job, you don't want to come home and make simple
I
decisions.
know.
So
Yeah.
that I think is stuck. I know that we're not the only ones. There's no way we're the
No,
only
we're
ones.
not.
But I think that's why some people meal prep on Sundays
Yeah.
and plan for the week. And we've said we are going to do that for years and we
Right.
haven't. Okay. Do you want to do number 2? Because this is yours and I don't understand
sure.
this.
You're sitting on the couch, you're scrolling for, I don't know, 30 minutes to an hour. We don't say a word to each other. Like we have Netflix or whatever show on in the background.
Like it's our quiet time.
It's our quiet time. Our kids just went to bed.
We're
And
overstimulated.
so some nights I'll go downstairs and play a video game. And then immediately, like I haven't even turned on the PS5 yet, and it's a text. It's like, we forgot to do this today. Like, I have been gone for literally 20 seconds.
Okay, but in all fairness, I'm
Or
just
this is what we
texting
need to
you
get
when
done
this
tomorrow.
stuff comes to my brain. Okay? I'm texting you when this stuff comes to my
Apparently
brain.
you stop scrolling after I go downstairs.
Okay,
That's when it all comes to your
no,
brain.
no, because this is the thing. Let me just bring up this morning example. And this isn't on the list, but it just came to me. So I'm going to throw it at you. Okay?
Yeah.
I feel like when I hand the baton to you to remember stuff, you don't. And then if I'm not like auditing us all freaking day, things get forgotten. Like today, I was like, I'm going to get ready. I'm going to redo my mascara. It's 8 days old. I didn't do my hair. Like I'm going to do 2 out of 3. I'm going to shower and do my makeup because you don't get to do all of them.
Mhm.
You were in charge of Sophie. You fed her. You changed her diaper. She was breathing. But I get in the car when you put her in her car seat. I look in the back. I packed all of her bottles. I'm driving and she's still in her pajamas. And I was like, oh my gosh. And so I texted you. I'm like, we forgot to change Sophie's
It's
clothes.
pajama day at school.
No, it was not. Luckily, she's a baby and she wears onesies. But like, I just could not. I was like, you had one job, and it was
What you left
Sophie.
out was I unloaded the dishwasher. I was making breakfast for Hallie and myself.
Okay, let me just back
Um,
up here real quick. You got the whole morning to yourself. I was taking the girls and then I was going to breakfast. Why could those things not have been done after? That's what I'm like. Men and women are just not the same when it comes to how we organize our time. Because you made a breakfast sandwich. You fried bacon. You made eggs. Did you toast bread? Was your bread toasted? And I didn't even drink a sip of water by the time I'm walking out the door.
That's your own fault.
No. Okay, next one. We could be on this one for days. Is it hot or is it just me? And this is getting me all heated. I'm getting heated.
Number 3, doing a chore gets one another going.
Oh yeah.
This happened a couple times this week, actually.
Well, we're like trying
We're
so
planting some flowers. It's like the gardener outside. You want to come in for some lemonade? Except the roles were
Listen
reversed.
to this podcast.
The roles were reversed. Like I was sitting on the porch and you were playing.
Well, yeah, because I needed to plant the flowers because you offered. In all fairness, you offered, and it was like my stress relief. But yeah, you were feeding Sophie, and I was planting flowers. But like for me, it
And
was.
then I was like taking out the trash, and you're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
it's like that gets it going."
Yes, because when you do things without me having to remind you, I'm like, you are one hot piece of something right now. Or like just changing the diaper or helping in general. But I do feel like when you're in a relationship and you've been in one for 89 years, like we have, if you don't appreciate those things, there will be nothing for you because it's not like we have all this time to do really intentional romantic things for one another. I mean, maybe I don't, but not often. So like you have to appreciate chores, doing the chores. There was something else you did, but I can't remember. But I was like, okay, I see you, Mr. Williamson. All right, moving right along. Oh, this is yours too. Let me skip to one of mine because you really just blasted this list. He had no problem making these up, which is why he came out the game. Dads eat first, moms eat last. Oh, this is what I was saying about this morning.
Yeah.
You made your breakfast sandwich and you were just over there eating. Right. But that isn't the normal. That's the first time I've gone to breakfast since we lived here. Anyways, even when we go out to a restaurant, like dads always eat first and moms eat last because we're like cutting up the food and blowing on it so it's not hot and just trying to throw water on ourselves to stay hydrated. And you're over there like halfway through your meal. And I'm like, oh man, it's true. It's a true thing.
Again, in all fairness, I do offer and you say no, go ahead.
Sometimes you offer.
Yeah.
Not all the time.
Depends on my hunger.
Exactly. If you are hungry, you will eat. And I will not, no matter how hungry I am. But yeah. All right, moving back to do you want to do number 4?
Sure. This is a good one. You're sitting down. Or no. So you're doing all these things and you finally get to sit down and then you'll be like, "Oh, can you fill up my water?" And it's not just like a glass of water. It's a 32-ounce Stanley cup.
It's not a Stanley.
And so with our water pressure, I'm standing at the fridge for at least 3 minutes filling this thing up. Bring that back to her. I'm ready to sit down. Oh, can you also grab my computer while you're up? Or my phone?
Cry. Oh,
Can you get my blanket?
you're up. And a lot of
But I
times,
wasn't up. You're like, "Oh, you just sat down? Okay, I need this, this, and this."
oh, that's a true one. So that would be one that like we lived that last week because we haven't been rating any of these, but these are all ours. So like for us, these hit every time. When you play on your own, like you'll have your there will be general examples and then you can fill in your own blanks because I think there are some that you just have to say, whew, that was a good one, babe. You're funny. Okay, you've argued over the right way to load the dishwasher and still do.
I think that happened
10 out of 10. This
last
is
week.
off the scale. Yeah, because I don't understand why you space everything so far out, like bowls, and just none of it makes sense in terms of maximizing the space.
The back of the dishwasher is for the big plates. The front.
Are you talking about the bottom or the top?
The front or the bottom. The front of the dishwasher is for bowls.
Bowls go on the top rack.
They don't have to.
They should because we don't have enough cups, but we have pans.
Didn't know you were dishwasher, please.
Well, this is what
Dang.
I'm saying. This is like we live this every day. So normally I'm just coming back behind you and reorganizing
As
the
long as it all
dishwasher.
fits, why does it matter?
It's just principle. It's principle. Okay. Um,
You do it
all
then.
right, you, this is yours.
Which one are we on?
We're on this one, number 7. We're skipping around, not on purpose.
Text from across the house instead of walking. That happens. That's kind of like going down to the basement and then you'll
Yeah,
text me.
I think that's a 5 for us.
Yeah.
But it's also
It
way
happens
easier
all
when
the
we
time.
have the baby or
Like
we're
when you
sitting
pull
with the
out of the driveway,
kids.
like this morning, Sophie's pajamas are still on. Okay, what do you want me to do about
I just wanted to tell you.
it?
That's where you have to know, and we've talked about this before. I just need to say things to find my
Oh,
peace.
I know.
Ah, okay. Oh man, that's a good one. That's a really good one. And you've debated over thermostat setting. Oh my gosh,
Thermostat
settings.
settings.
Like it's a hostage
Yeah,
negotiation.
I'd say the spring and the fall are the worst
Hmm.
because it's 75, 80 during the day, drops to like 40 at night. So it's like at night, you're like, we need the heat on. And then in the morning, or I guess
It's
later in the
flip-flop.
afternoon, you're like, we need the air on. And I'm like, make up your mind, woman. Let's just turn it off altogether and just let the cold air breeze in.
No, because and some of it could be like postpartum. I don't actually know. But I will say, like when we first moved here, I would turn on the fireplace in the morning and then I turn the air on in the afternoon because it was so freaking hot. But like not with the fireplace on. That sounds really bad saying it out loud. I just
Yeah.
need to be comfortable. That's all. Like I need to be comfortable.
That is my
And
main priority every day, just to make you comfortable.
okay. Asking you for a project and then doing it myself because it took you too long to do it. That is a 3 for me. It hits. It's not all the time, but it hits.
Or you just asking me to do a project and be like, what's taking you so long? Like Hallie's dresser. I don't know, it was a
Okay, that took
Saturday,
you
and you're like,
like 3 days.
yeah, it was 2,500 pieces.
So
You're like, we need to get this done. Go start it. I'm like 3 steps in. You're like, the kids are losing it.
they
I come
were
back down there and I'm like, I need to get this done today because there's just boards everywhere. And
everywhere.
Hallie won't be able to sleep. And she's like, why'd you even need to start that today? I'm like, or
Also,
an hour ago, you told me that
when
it
you
needed to
act
get
me
done.
out, like, can we use a more pleasant voice? Because you turn on this like low, gurgly horse voice, and I don't sound like a smoker. Like, that's what you make me sound like. And you move so slow and you're not
I
efficient.
take my time so it
Why?
gets done right.
Okay, this leads into the other one. Men who go to the bathroom because they have to go to the bathroom. You know what I'm talking about. You guys know what we're talking about. And you're gone for 20 minutes. And I swear there's no way it's taking that long. It is totally your attempt to escape the chaos.
No.
Same thing. You just are so slow. You're not efficient.
Sometimes you just have to do, a little bit of
No,
reading
you're
to
in there
catch up
reading a
on
whole
stuff.
book while I'm out drowning in the deep end. Last night, I had both of the girls. Hallie was hungry. We had just gotten home. We literally just walked in the door, and you're like, "Gotta go to the bathroom," and I'm like, just so ridiculous to me how men use the bathroom as like a timeout.
Sanctuary.
Women would never be able to do that. Like I go to the bathroom, and Hallie is right there.
Okay, Hallie's normally the
No,
right
she'll
next
come check on you, but then she'll leave. She
to
leaves you alone.
pooping or peeing.
That is her go-to because she's like, how long is this gonna take? Oh man. Okay, moving on. Okay, so this is the last one we're gonna do with y'all, and then we'll share this whole list so that you can do it with your spouse. And I cannot wait to see who wins between the two of us. We'll come back with that information next time, but also how it goes for you guys too. But the last one is you've seen each other at your absolute worst and loved harder after. That's more of a serious one. We haven't been serious this whole episode. But I will say that is literally like we've lived this week with Daisy. I was just a freaking wreck the night before. So you took both the girls downstairs and let me just be with her. And I cried and stress cleaned and cried. And then like prepared her and took pictures with her and took pictures with her and our other dog. And then the next day, like I totally shut down. I didn't want you around. I didn't want to be touched. I didn't want to be hugged. I was just so upset because I was not ready, even though I knew she was. And you continued to persevere and be there for me, like even when I was like just totally like done with any sort of attempt from you to be nice and love on me because I was so upset.
Can I give you a hug? No, don't touch me.
I was communicating. You asked me a question. I was
I
giving you my
know, but I
answer.
couldn't stand seeing you sad. And it was like I asked her probably 6 or 7 times, and it was just like, don't touch me. I don't
Yeah,
want you around me right now.
I didn't want to be
So,
around
like,
anyone.
okay.
And if I had it my way, I would have
Go
been
in the
able to just
basement, just F myself.
Eric, it's awful. I just think that if you are able to see the person you love at their worst and still love them and love them harder after, because that morning I was like, you don't need to go with us because I just wanted to be alone. And you were very like, I'm gonna drive because you won't be able to drive home, knowing that I wouldn't. And the drive there was so much better because you were driving and I just got to hold her. But then you didn't even ask. You just got out of the car and went in with me. And I needed that. And I needed you to know me well enough to go in. And you did. And you do. And you loved me harder in those horrible moments. And I can't imagine having to be in there by myself because that's a whole other podcast episode. But yeah, I think that this is probably the most serious one out of all of these. But I think when you can love each other harder after you've seen each other at your absolute worst, I mean, that's kind of the whole meaning of love in my mind. It
Well,
can't always be rainbow and sunshine.
yeah. I wanted you to have your space, but I also wanted, it was one of those situations where I wanted you to know that I was there, and so I kept trying, but I knew you needed your space.
Mm-hmm. You
But
did a good
if I
job
didn't
balancing
try,
it.
then I think you would have been like, you didn't you didn't try. So I was stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Are you telling me you only tried because you didn't want to hear about not trying later? Because that's what that just sounded like. I really hope
No.
not. Eric, oh my gosh. Unfiltered, raw, always. Okay, on that note, y'all, make it a great week. We love being with you. We'll look forward to our next episode. And yeah, make sure you follow, like, subscribe, share. We appreciate you being here. We'll share this link with you to download the game for yourself. Have a great rest of your week.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.
And remember, no matter where you are on your journey, every step is a chance to grow together during both perfect and even imperfect moments.
We'll be here to help keep the conversation going, so join us next time for more insights, lots of laughs, and our story. Until then, keep talking, keep listening, and keep showing up for each other. See you next time.